At the fair, the Cork Dorks in Mission Square.
Yeah, Mission Square is the place to be, especially when you have friends like Cass Wines. I'll tell you, when I was looking at the schedule, we got some great winemakers, distillers. We had a brewmaster on a couple days ago. But when I knew that I was going to see this mother on Friday night, I was like, my Friday is going to be good. And Shandy, you know we love you. Sterling, Brian, we love you guys.
I'm secondary.
I miss your dad. I miss your dad too, because although there is a yin and yang about these two, Steve Cass is always so interesting and so great to interview. He has great conversation. He's so much fun to hang out with, and you guys got it going on, and I'm so happy that we were able to celebrate Friday with Cass.
Well, we're glad to be here, my brother.
Hell yeah.
You know what? They do so many great things for the Paso Robles community, San Luis Obispo. You guys are very involved in what's happening here on the Central Coast. The wines are outstanding, and it's a fantastic place to go hang out for a week if you can, and taste all these great wines. We've done it all today. We got in Marsanne, Roussanne. We got into some Grenache, and then we jumped over and we did the Big Ted.
Yes.
Big Teddy ball game.
That's the scary part. It's not all. We have way too many wines to bring.
Right. Bring them all. Yeah. But you did bring something special.
Yeah.
And Sterling, tell us about the 10-year Tawny Port.
All right. So we have something that's a little, I would say a little illegal, but we do a lot of wines for our club members and for all the dinners that we do. Like, I create a bunch of stuff, but I would like actually Brian to tell about the lineage, because I didn't make this. I finished it.
Yeah, so this Tawny Port was started literally 10 plus years ago.
Probably about 12 years ago,
Yeah, 12 years ago. And I remember going to my parents' horse shed where these barrels were. And the barrels were in the horse shed. And literally, I'm 38 now, and I was 25 or something, and it was a long time ago. And Louis, our prior winemaker from South Africa, had his barrels up in the horse shed because you got to have them get really hot to make them oxidize, right? So you got to have the barrels get really hot in the Paso Robles sun to oxidize, and
which is so different than every other wine you want.
It's totally unconventional from any other wine.
This is the exact opposite way you make wine.
Exactly. So it's crazy, right? Yeah. Exactly. And so I had just gotten back from graduate school in Australia, and it's 07, 08 or whatever, and I'm getting back to America, and I'm talking to my friends. Hey, we got this new winery open, blah blah blah. Let's go taste some of this wine in the horse shed. And I go in there. And we go to drink the wine, and it's leaking.
Yeah.
The barrel is leaking. It's literally leaking. It's like drop, 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 drop.
Oh, no.
And we only made, 2 barrels of this wine. So I will claim that I saved the vintage because
thank you, my brother.
I called the South African guy, Luid. I'm like, Luid, your barrels are leaking. Called him. Say? This guy.
But he doesn't tell you the part where he put a glass underneath it for an hour and drank it for a little bit.
Yeah. And so he came over on his motorcycle, whatever, and he stuffed it up. He got it not leaking. And but I like to claim that if I didn't go in there that night, drink with my friends,
we wouldn't have it.
Yeah. We might have lost a quarter.
Brian,
25% of this Tawny 10-year port.
Beautiful.
It takes 10 years to make this wine.
Yeah.
And so that's the story.
One of the biggest differences when you make a Tawny Port is you purposely oxidize it. You do everything that you would do wrong for making wine.
Yeah. Well, like Madeira, they used it for ballast in the ships that came across in the Pacific.
Yeah, and that was part of the reason getting it hot. So when Lud had left at this point, and I bottled this, it was legitimately over 10 years old. And so normally in a Solaris system, when you're making a port, you add a little bit, you bottle a little bit, then you add it from the previous years. And it goes down a pyramid system. So in Portugal, whatever, you might have wines that are 100-plus years old, and they consider it 10-year because you're adding the new wine to it. This legitimately was over 10 years, and this is kind of the fun things we do at Cass.
Yes.
I do the blends. I do a bunch of things for dinners because we have the round the world dinners and try to pair some of these things, and it's really cool.
Well, I guess one of the cool things about it is that we don't put it on the website.
Yeah,
it's not advertised.
This isn't even for sale.
So this story is
it's illegal.
You got to tell
to this fair only.
Well, I better confiscate this, man.
There you go.
We'll
We'll
make sure this is safe. Yeah.
We'll be fine.
But
Don't
we
worry
have-
about that.
But we do have, whatever, 10 cases for sale or something. So.
All right, so here's the deal. It's casswines.com.
So
That's
pretty
the
when you see it
website.
pouring.
Casswines.com. Click on Stay, and you can experience what they're doing out there on the east side of Paso Robles.
Yes.
Janet, tell us a little about these dinners around the world and
Absolutely.
all the other events. How do we get involved with that?
Oh, absolutely. These are all open to the public. It's an amazing experience. We have a phenomenal executive chef, and so we do Wednesdays around the world every single week. Every single month.
And we pick a country.
Once a month, and we pick a different country. So this is kind of like we literally have passports for our guests. So our guests get a stamp every time they visit a different country. So we've done everything from South Africa to Ethiopia, France,
Greece,
Mexico, Greece, everywhere that you can imagine. And we're just continuing that process. So that's once a month. We do it on a random Wednesday.
Should do Fresno or something.
Yes!
That's a country.
Oh, yeah!
That'd be pretty sweet. That'd be cool.
We could do Fresno.
Fresno. I'm letting Chef Charlie know. Thank you. Yeah. So, and then we do our state beef program. So we have a state beef dinners. So we have our own cattle on property, and so these estate beef dinners feature a different cut. These cows are all raised on our grasses on our acreage, and it's just a beautiful thing to be able to take care of what we have. We're a California sustainable vineyard. We take care of what we have when it comes to the vineyard, but we've been farm to fork. Like I always say, way before it was cool, way before
it became a slogan.
Way before it became a slogan. We had our organic gardens, we had our estate beef, we had all that, and that's just the heart of what we are about. And so we have those dinners. Those are all open to the public, so people can come and join. These are literally 5-7 courses, all wine pair. I mean, it's literally like, I'm going to just take care of myself and have a little splurge,
I will have to say, what's awesome,
yeah.
too, is with Chef Charlie, who has worked it locally. He's an amazing chef, but he's also worked around the world. And
literally, that's how he educated himself.
Correct. And so when it comes to around these world dinners, and as you guys know, like my wife and I have traveled a lot, so there's been certain countries where, like, I think the last one we did Sri Lanka.
Yes.
And I went to him, I was
Sri
like,
Lanka.
hey, so there's this dish. And he whipped it up and seriously nailed it.
Dang.
Yeah,
And
awesome.
I asked him to make this Sri Lankan dish that is very local, and he just killed it.
Yeah.
That's cool. You guys are talented there.
Yeah.
Chef Charlie is one of a kind.
Yes, absolutely.
Well, this is really an experience you have to get out there and do for yourself. So go to casswines.com. It all starts there. Get out there and taste these wines out on the east side of Paso Robles. Check this out right here, 2020 Winery of the Year.
Ow!
Put our glasses up for the folks at Cass Wines. Thanks for hanging out with us at Mission Square. We're going to get out of here. We got the Sean Clark Family Band coming up next. Sean Clark, right here. I know you're all waiting for it. Come on. We'll be back here tomorrow with the Godfather
brother.
himself,
Love
Gary
you, man.
Eberly. We hope you can come by and say hi. It's the Cork